Okay, everybody. Today's project, shut up. Today's project is I'm going to be removing this stereo. As you can see, it's got some weird code down here. I'm just going to keep going. Let me turn that off. It's got some weird code down here, and I've tried to pull the fuse, and that's about all I've really cared to try to fix it. It's all one piece, so I can't upgrade the stereo or anything anyways. So I got a JDM unit to put in. Oh my God. Got a JDM unit to put in here. No, we're not doing that either. That'll basically give me AC control separate, and then it'll have a double din spot for a stereo to go in. So that's basically my project for today, is trying to get this pulled out and rewired. It'll be a little tricky because I'm colorblind, so we'll see how this goes. So here's everything you really need to do this. First, you need to get a JDM bezel, and I have the dual climate control, so I have the dual climate control JDM one. If you don't have that, then you can get the single. This actually came with the hazard switch. Also, you'll need a double din stereo to go in, as well as something like this, which I believe is called an I-88 adapter. And that has all the wires on it so that this can work with the currently wired stereo that's in there. So I'm going to get started. First, I've got to pull that old unit out to get an idea of how all this is going to go in. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bezel off so I can get to everything else I need. And to do that, you got to take your shift knob off, which just unscrews like that. If you have a 5-speed, it's basically the same. And then the whole thing just pops right out. Probably have to put your car into maybe second or third, or second or fourth. Then there's this one plug that goes to the cigarette lighter and the LED that sits in this little cubby right there. So pop that out. It's just a clip you pinch right there. Okay, I've got these two screws out down here, and these little side pieces just pull off. They're not hard to get off. You just kind of got to pull where it's curved, and they will start popping. I say that as this one is stuck. Okay. Of course, wedge up there. So let me. There we go. Put that on here. And you know what's funny is I have the little tools to pry this out, and I'm too lazy to go grab them. No, that clip is not coming. There we go. So this one was wedged, and you can kind of squeeze in on them as you see them, but they should just pop right out. So now that that's done, we have to remove the stereo, which there's 4 screws. They're Phillips for my car. They're probably Phillips for your car, that go right there. And it looks like there's supposed to be more up here, but you know, who knows what's happened along the way. This car's a 2005. It's almost 20 years old, so you know, anything could happen, I guess. Okay, got my magnet. Yeah. There he goes. Man, these little magnets are handy. Let me get this other side out. Okay, I've got a ground there that you won't have, but I just need to remember that it's there, or something won't work right. That should be all the screws for this thing. And it is. I'm gonna get hung up on other stupid things. But that's the stereo out. Okay, I'm gonna try to show you the best I can. There's just a couple clips that pop out. They should pop out. Just squeeze tabs. That's a pain in the butt. And then this. Then you should be free. I have this extra box here, which goes to an auxiliary cable that the new stereo won't need. It's basically a little extra input kit. And then that's about it. Now I've got one more ground I have to take off. And then finally, up top, we have this is our hazard switch. Well, I got this plug. Comes with all the wires, and it should plug right into the factory harness, like that. So I'm gonna have to wire this in to the plug that goes into the stereo. And this is where things get tricky because I'm colorblind. But you can see that goes right there, and then your plug goes into your stereo. Okay, so next we have to take these 3 wires, which is your 12 volt to the AC, as well as the dimmers, and then there's also power and dimmers on this, so we'll have to put those 2 together and then splice it all to this plug. But unfortunately I can't find my crimpers, so I have to run to O'Reilly's to do so. And I'm going to try to find, I have these, but I'm going to see if I can find a little bit smaller one for the 5 volt wires, because that's, I don't know, those are a little bit big. Another thing you could do is also you could completely solder all of this together and then shrink wrap it, heat shrink it. But I loaned out my soldering gun to somebody, so I don't have it, and I'm not going to wait for him to bring it back. So I'm just going to go get some crimps and wire strippers and get to work on this. And the cool thing about this is you only need like 2 tools and you can do it inside. So I'll probably do this sitting at my computer desk watching some YouTube or something. What on earth? That makes no sense. And we're back. Time to get to work. Okay. Got my heat shrink on. Got my crimp on one side. Thread that in on the other side. Gotta hate electrical work. Which is silly because I basically rewired this whole car by this point, but and you crimp it down. And the big test is to give it a good tug. You put your heat shrink on it and then hit it with fire and it'll shrink up. I'm gonna go get my lighter, but I'm also gonna finish the rest of this inside my house in a much more comfortable spot. But I did want to show you how one set went. You'll have 2 other commons with the air conditioner, being the illumination plus and the illumination minus. And that's so when you dim and raise the backlighting in your car, you know, at nighttime when you turn on the headlights, that it'll mirror the stereo, and the text on the radio will mirror all the other illumination pieces. So you may have to have 2 different crimp connectors. The power wires are thicker It's just how it is. But everything else should be the same gauge, I believe, other than sometimes the ground is thicker. Okay, I got all of this wired together. Wasn't too bad. I mean, anybody could do it. And I hate wiring, and I'm colorblind. The one thing I did, luckily my girlfriend is a designer and knows color very well. I accidentally connected a green and a brown wire at one point, but got that sorted. I got my stereo mounted. Doesn't look too bad. Got my wires plugged in. This will go to the factory plug, and so will that. So everything should just plug in and work. So next I'm going to plug the thing into the car, and I'm going to turn the car on to see if it actually turns on and does what it's supposed to do before I start installing it completely. Okay, we are back in the car. Got our new stereo and AC. One of these goes into there like so. This goes into here like so. And the last thing that we're gonna have to maybe figure out, it might work just fine, is the hazard switch. Hazard switch definitely works. Hey! We've got stereo. However, doesn't seem like our AC is working. Okay, so one of the last things I have to do is this piece of it's plastic. I think it's like fiberglass enforced or whatever. Plastic. Since we're moving the hazard switch to the other side, you have to notch out a little section. There's not much to it. It's just something you can Dremel out or use a little hacksaw. There's a million ways to get that notched out so that this can fit in there, you see. And once that's done, I've pretty much got this thing installed. Now, I accidentally ordered the wrong air conditioner controller because I have a dual climate and the one I ordered is a single climate. So I have to wait till the new one comes in to fill this spot. I may go ahead and use the one I have just so it looks cleaner for the next 2 weeks until I get the other one in. But it installs the same way. So just pretend I'm installing the right one, I guess, so that way I can actually get this video done and out to you guys, because I know there's at least 1 or 2 people that are trying to do this that are actually waiting on this video. So let me get the air conditioner and I will throw that in. Okay, I got everything installed. Obviously I'm gonna have to swap this out. The key to, if you have the if you have the dual climate, instead of fan right here, it'll say temp, and it'll say temp on this side. I obviously didn't see that and grabbed the wrong one. I've got to kind of adjust the fitment of this, but I'm not going to finagle it too much because I'm just going to end up taking this out in about 2 weeks. But that is how you install this. So hopefully that was helpful, and if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to reach out. I'm around and I answer pretty much every comment that gets made. So you guys have a great day. Feel free to like and subscribe. Really helps out, and that is all.